I'm Salad, Mint Salad, and I saw Octopussy. It is directed by John Glenn, written by George MacDonald Fraser, Richard Maybaum, and Michael G. Wilson. If you haven't seen this movie, I will spoil it for you. We're following a clown. He's been wounded, and he has an egg, a fake egg, and he takes it directly to this British emissary's office and crashes through the window. There's an active party going on, and he just crashes in like a frickin' clown. It's up to James Bond to figure out who is selling the real egg at this auction. So he goes to the auction, and he's doing a little survey, and this egg, this real egg, the guy that's with James Bond is like, oh, it's not gonna go more than like 300,000 pounds. And there's this guy who's in a bidding war who is like, I'm gonna offer $400,000. James Bond is like, 425. And this guy's like, are you insane? And of course, the guy bids higher because he really needs it. And James Bond was testing if he needed it or not, and he definitely does. So James Bond goes and trails this person. What does he need it for? What does he need this egg for? I also like how this takes place in India. It's so chaotic. Oh my goodness, especially with the chase scenes. We got people in the streets about to get hit by cars. It's such a fun time. We also got James Bond is playing backgammon with this guy. This guy has some loaded dice. I like this exchange that James Bond has with this guy. This guy's like, you need to be really lucky in order to get the money that I have fronted on this table. Right, and James Bond is like, well, let me just use your dice. And then he rolls 2 6s. He's like, well, I guess I get the money now. And this guy is like, I want to send some of my men to kill him. And so, you know, then we get more chase scenes with James Bond, always being chased. Oh my goodness. There's also this chick that's with James Bond, and James Bond has the egg, and this chick's trying to get to the egg, and they have a sleep together, but then she sneaks out in the middle of the night and is like, oh, hey, I'm gonna steal the egg. And then James Bond wakes up and is like, what you doing there? And she's like, oh, nothing. And then she takes her scarf, ties it around the balcony, and just falls backwards and just starts blowing herself with the scarf, and then goes into his guard. James Bond is like, all right, okay, cool. And then he gets knocked out. I'm like, this is awesome. James Bond has a tracking device within that egg, by the way, so he learns a lot of information about this guy's plans, why he needs this egg so freaking badly. There's also a subplot going on. There is this general who is really hungry for world expansion, I guess. Oh, there's a dog here. Hello, dog. Come on. Come on. Woo, hi. Hi. Ooh. There we go. Hello.
3 hours later.
Ah, good. I'm gonna have to... Oh no, you're on the mic. He's a big lick. Big lick. Good boy. Alright, go play somewhere else. James Bond meets Octopussy. It's a chick. She runs a octopus cult, I guess? Yeah, and she loves this octopus that's in this tank of water, and it's pretty cool. There's also like a whole circus plot. By the way, the circus plot is that they put in a bomb in the circus that is going on this Air Force base, and it's going to explode, but the idea is that this goes kablowy and everyone's like, oh my goodness, the bomb! And everyone on the border of the Soviet Union US line is going to be going to the bomb threat, and that leaves room for the Soviets to get him. So it's up to James Bond to stop this. I really like James Bond on a train track, in a car. It's pretty cool. Like, the tires are gone, so he just goes on a train track, and I thought that was pretty sweet. And he's going into the circus. There's a guy dressed up as a clown. It's like pretty scary, and also, oh gosh, clowns. They can be very, very scary. I'm not a big fan of clowns personally. They don't scare me, they just kind of unsettle me, I guess. And then James Bond turns himself into a clown, just like 009 turned himself into a clown and then died as a clown in the very beginning of the movie. And he does an infiltration and he stops the Bond, and it's pretty cool. I also like how Octopussy is against James Bond during the entire time until the very end. Big man, head honcho, aka Kamal Khan, he betrays her. And also, by the way, there's a nuclear warhead in that bomb, and so she helps him deactivate the bomb, which is pretty great. I like it. I like how she helps at the end. The final scene is pretty intense. Khan takes Octopussy as a hostage, and so they go into a plane, and James Bond goes in the plane. They attempt to take over the plane. They're all on the side of the plane. It's pretty freaking tense. And then I like how they have to eventually jump off of the plane in like parachutes. And then we got Khan who just dies, and then they're having a good old time. To celebrate, James Bond and Octopussy have some sex. And it's cool. I like it. I like this movie. I like the name. I like the octopus motif. And I like how this is pretty grounded. I would say this is probably the same amount of grounded as the last movie. This introduces some questions like, why the name Octopussy? James Bond only has sex with 2 women in this film. Kind of disappointing, knowing that his body count is a lot higher in the other films. I do like how it's satisfying that he has sex with Octopussy, especially since she's introduced as a villain, a femme fatale as you might call it. For the name being Octopussy, I was expecting it to be so glamorous, but other than it being set in India and having a lot of cool palaces and a lot of cool set places, it changes from India to like France and Greece and whatever. It just changes places all over the place. And so I like that it's nice and pretty, but plot-wise, okay, I guess. Oh wow, you're gonna get an egg. Why does this guy need an egg? Oh, because he's working with the Soviets. And this guy really wants to blow up the entire place with the Air Force Base. Octopussy is such a strong title, and this is not such a strong movie. However, it is pretty enjoyable, and I like Roger Moore. He's really settled into the character. I don't see Roger Moore at all. I see James Bond, and he's also looking a little older, which I find to be more as distinguished. I like James Bond looking a little older. It shows that he has a lot of experience, and I like that. What do you think of Octopussy? I like the octopus. That was a cool guy. I want to see more octopus. There's not enough octopus in this Octopussy movie. So I gotta give this movie, it's a solid 6.3 out of 10. If you like this video, watch another one on the platform. Like that $20 donation, patreon.com/ASEPresents for 1 movie review for 1 month. Please link to support the daily grindiness of all the daily movies, so you can go here. And until next time, in Salad Saw, see you later, my sour croutons, and make a bit. I'm gonna go look for that dog now because I want to pet it. Bye-bye.